TW Wrestling Talk here. Part 2 of this edition. It's New Year's Day edition of TW Wrestling Talk, I should say. We are counting down the days of The Rock's return in 2013 to WWE, having not been around since getting beat up by CM Punk. And, with The Rock coming back again, maybe we'll see how much he's involved up until the Royal Rumble as far as Raw goes. If he's a part of every episode of Raw, or if, maybe just that one, or maybe, the one right before the Royal Rumble. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, it'll be good to have The Rock back. And it'll also be good to have a guy like CM Punk back at full strength soon, able to compete on a weekly basis on Raw. And I'm saying this because as of late, Raw has suffered from a guy like CM Punk, being sidelined and being limited in what they can have him do. So in recent weeks in Raw, I'm on record saying the only good parts about Raw that I've noticed in recent weeks has really been segments involving the Shield, most segments involving Ryback. I wasn't too crazy at the Slammies with the Ric Flair segment. I wasn't too crazy about that one, given it was kind of just a moment to kind of honor Ric Flair more, and he's back, that kind of thing. But for the most part, the CM Punk promos, if they haven't been too short and too streamlined, those kind of segments have pretty much been, in recent weeks, the only good parts about Raw. Occasionally segments involving Big Show, Sheamus, but a lot of what has dominated Raw's airtime in recent weeks has been things involving, the John Cena and Dolph Ziggler storyline, unfortunately, amongst other pretty uncreative things. They did the whole Christmas thing. That was, we'll leave it, wasn't very good at all. And then we had, on this New Year's Eve episode of Monday Night Raw, we had this, rather silly angle with Mae Young. Bless her heart, but they really did a silly angle, this pregnancy angle. I don't know what they were thinking. They have, they act like she's pregnant, and, predictably, they have Hornswoggle supposedly being born from Mae Young. This whole thing just kind of left me a little speechless in a bad way.
In my opinion, that sucked.
In my opinion, it sucked. Exactly the way for me to put it. It's just I don't know where WWE came with. I don't know what whoever came up with this idea. I don't know what they were on. But this was pretty terrible. And if they gotta, hoping in these weeks they will manage their TV time better. Their episodes of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown where needed. Because they got to build up to the Royal Rumble. It's often looked at as perhaps the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, and the build up to WrestleMania. So they gotta make things happen now. December was a pretty lackluster month, a Monday Night Raw, and while things like NFL playoffs go on, WWE has to they have to get things going here strong.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
So yeah, they got things like the NFL playoffs right now going on that you know.
You kidding me? Playoffs?
So so basically, the bottom line is they gotta divvy up the time on Raw better. It's as simple as that. Because as of late, I it just seems like everything they do with John Cena to me, it just isn't working. Um, this past Monday on Raw with the whole New Year's Eve celebration thing, and it it just wasn't a good idea to me for Dolph Ziggler and AJ, and I'm starting to get the idea that I'm starting to get the sense that they're just making Dolph Ziggler another heel that the WWE doesn't need. Um, you know, in the past month on Raw, pretty much Cena has owned him in whatever match it has been, or promo or whatever. Um, and the win that Ziggler got over Cena, I'm starting to wish that Ziggler just won clean, because you know it's starting to be another one of those things where you know Ziggler only won because of the help of AJ and blah blah blah. Um, and at the moment, it's just not doing anything for Dolph Ziggler. I don't think. The only thing it's doing is the only benefit is that he's involved in a feud with John Cena. But that's in the long run. That doesn't matter if nothing is helping the wrestler in the long run. Right now, you know, I think what would help Ziggler is a clean win. I think, without interference that would have already happened at TLC if had he just beaten John Cena without AJ. I'm starting to look back at that and not like that even more. So, and John Cena, I mean, his character is as can be as goofy and as awkward as ever. I mean, just last week, they were showing replays of him, backstage. One week yelling for Santa, um, and then the next week he's coming out. Oh, I'm gonna be WWE champion again, and getting all serious and then getting all silly, looking in the camera and getting all serious again. It's just, you know, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with John Cena. The direction can be unclear, but the result always seems to be the same kind of stale character that we get from John Cena. Um, at the end of the day, just everything they do with him just does not add up. Um, and I say thank God that The Rock is going to be back in you know at least next week. That CM Punk will be back at full strength, because at the past month, CM Punk has not been able to compete. He they've he's been pretty limited in what they have him do. Instead of having him be in two or three major segments, they might have him only be involved in a medium length promo, 5 minute, sometimes 10-minute promo, but nothing really that extended. And I think that, especially in these 3-hour Raws, that is a problem, um, because the only other people that they tend to rely on and doing always being a major promo guy is John Cena. That just to me, he it's not cutting it. And I think it just goes to show you that um, WWE needs to look to build Miz up more. To build, yeah, I mean, use Ryback more in the future as well. Um, and the more they have these, you know, poor editions of Monday Night Raw, the more it makes it obvious that WWE needs new, you know, fresh talent at the helm, and I think they're doing a decent job of that. Um, but this whole Dolph Ziggler and John Cena thing to me, I'm not happy in the direction it's going. To me, Dolph Ziggler's starting to just become another heel that WWE doesn't need. Um, and on top of that, I mean, they have Biggie Langston involved. I don't understand how Biggie Langston fits in with all this. I mean, it's just to me, he doesn't fit with Dolph Ziggler and AJ. That stable. And all they really have him do is like stand there anyways, and maybe lay a few shots on John Cena. But I mean, it's like, are we supposed to? I don't know if WWE's thinking if we're supposed to like watch, just like if oh he's this big guy, look at him standing there. I mean, I don't know. It's just to me, there's not a whole lot of purpose behind Biggie Langston right now with what they're having him do. And again, there's just nothing out of this angle that is great to me. And it's especially more of a problem when that's what is dominating these these recent episodes of Monday Night Raw. So hopefully in the coming weeks leading up to Royal Rumble, they will cut back on that and focus more on what more on CM Punk and Ryback, which Paul Heyman. They're likely to do this week, this next edition of Raw, given that they have the match, supposed match, and we'll wait and see. And then of course The Rock is going to be back. So no one. So The Rock is sure to perhaps be involved in a great promo somewhere. Great segment, no doubt. So and great segments to come. So that's I, there's a little. I'm giving some hope there, but not. I'm not just talking about in the next month in the build up to Royal Rumble when The Rock is here, and like when a guy like Brock Lesnar is also around. Because when those guys aren't around, they gotta do, they gotta manage time well then too. Um, the year round, I think they gotta manage time better. Um, it's as simple as that. With these 3 hour Raws, I think that might be making it tougher. And with these weekly main event shows, that might be making it tougher. With, whatever else they have going on at times, that might make it tougher as well. So, I just want to see a little more improvement on how they manage time because the whole the time the featurette of lately has been the main feature has been Dolph Ziggler and John Cena with hints of AJ and Vicky Guerrero and whatnot, and it really has not been cutting it. And it's a shame too because Dolph Ziggler is a guy that is probably a soon-to-be world heavyweight champion, and you know we're we're looking to get him over in the business, not have him in these pretty crappy angles, which WWE has it just hasn't been good lately. So hopefully they can. Hopefully less will become more, as in the future with this angle. Um, hopefully they'll have Dolph Ziggler look more better in more legitimate ways over John Cena. I don't. John Cena said he's going to be in the Royal Rumble match, so I guess we won't see a Dolph Ziggler Cena rematch then. I'm hoping they rematch at WrestleMania, and just have a good match either way. I'm hoping that Ziggler picks up a clean win at some point against John Cena, because at TLC that wasn't quite a clean win. And whether it be on an episode of Raw or WrestleMania or whatever, hopefully there's a clean win that Dolph Ziggler gets over John Cena, because that certainly would help him. So that's pretty much it for this edition of TW Wrestling Talk. I'm thinking next week will be, Raw will be a little bit more back on track. Um, hopefully there's not too much, you know, extra filler on SmackDown, showing what happened on Raw, the in, before. So we'll have to wait and see. And looking forward to um, next episode of Monday Night Raw, as we proceed into kind of the midpoint of the build up to the Royal, this 6 week long build up to the Royal Rumble. So stay tuned for more TW Wrestling Talk to cover things like that. And as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Send in any questions. I appreciate any kind of support you can give me. So stay tuned for next week's edition of TW Wrestling Talk.